We are already into a very busy week, no question about that. We are looking at hotspot after hotspot after hotspot around the world. The Republican debate is going on now here. Not really much of a debate. It rather nauseates me to even watch it for 5 minutes and watch these candidates literally showing practiced body language, little recorded messages. They're very well coached, groomed, and as phony as a $3 bill. And all of them now, except Fiorina, are saying similar things that Donald Trump said months and months ago, that we have a big problem and we've got to take action against an internal and an exterior threat of radicalized Islam. Donald Trump, the only one speaking off the top of his head, from his heart, speaking his truth, unrehearsed, amazes me. I've never seen anything like it. And I think most of you people get that, and you see it. And that's part of his appeal. The rest of them are like little machines, and a question is asked, a little button is pushed, and they give their little polished responses. There are a couple of exceptions, of course, but it is such a phony sham. It's really disgusting. And here is a real man, a runaway front runner, and his own party is trying to destroy him. So afraid are they that Donald Trump, an outsider, would lead the nation, and they would lose their criminal, inbred, pedophilia-oriented control. They are really disgusting. And Trump continues to impress the dickens out of me. I don't like politics, because I guess he's not a politician. All right. As most of you know, Ukraine, and I've been telling you this for a couple of weeks now, watch Ukraine. Watch Ukraine. Oh, everyone's looking at Syria, Iran, to a degree Israel, which now is quite obviously aiding and abetting ISIS. They have, I think, 500 ISIS fighters now under medical care. They're sending their special forces teams into Syria to extract the wounded who are worth saving. It's really amazing. But keep your eye on Ukraine. That continues to be the big one. That's center stage. Oh, there's no light shining on it right now, but it is. The Kiev joke, most of it, of course, Rothschild money, was installed. Porky and the Rat, as I call them, Yatsenyuk or Ratsenyuk and Poroshenko, Porky and the Rat, really are emblematic of the rot and stench coming out of Kiev. It's very sad. The people in the east of Ukraine, as you know, have basically been fighting for well over a year since March 2014, I guess, when the armed conflict in the Donbass region of Ukraine really broke out. It has never really stopped. The Western Zionist media has put a lid on it, and you're not hearing much about it. But the Kiev military, I don't call them Ukraine military, I call them the Kiev military, continues to kill people, continues to shell. They've used illegal weapons against those in the east who want their independence because they are basically Russian-oriented, Russian heritage, Russian-speaking. They want nothing to do with the Western rot that exists in Kiev. It's a fascinating story. At any time now, the Kiev battalions who are right at the line of demarcation can be given the go order. And it is said that as soon as the ground freezes and the heavy armor will be able to roll forward, that's going to happen. Wouldn't surprise me at all. We're very fortunate to have with us this first hour tonight a man we can call Texas. I have his real name here. We'll leave it up to him as to whether he wants to use it or not, but he was very kind to come on this program. I'm very honored to have him. He is an American. He is over there. He has volunteered, put his life on the line for the people in the East to stay independent. Are you there, Texas?
I sure am. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Oh yeah, I tried to cover and give people a little bit of a background there. Was I on or was I off? Did I miss anything?
Well, from what I understand, you are very well informed about the issue here, and everything that you just said is completely correct.
Good. Okay. Now, the obvious question to start things off with is, what took you from Texas or wherever to Ukraine? What prompted you to go over there and put your life on the line for these really wonderful people who have suffered so much?
Well, they certainly are really, really nice people here. And for me, it was just following politics, following everything, even before 9/11. I mean, Yugoslavia, Grenada back when I was in the U.S. Army. When Libya was destroyed by the U.S. campaign, that really, really bothered me. A lot of people still don't understand what a terrible crime that was.
Oh, yeah. May I say one thing,
Sure.
Texas, about that? I am 120% with you. The rape and destruction of Libya, second only to that of Iraq, made me sick. The first announcement that the so-called freedom fighters and rebels made when they took Benghazi was that the new Libyan central bank was open for business.
Before the shooting was even finished.
That's correct. Yeah. In other words, the Rothschild Central Bank was the first thing that the rebels announced. It's just amazing. Amazed me. Go ahead, please.
And I just wanted to say, too, about that, that most people don't understand that Libya had the highest standard of living in all of Africa, higher than many Western countries, including Mexico.
Yes, extraordinary country led by an extraordinary man. They got more of their natural resources plowed back into that country and given to the people than any other country on earth that I've ever heard about. Just
Sure.
amazing.
And that's why they were destroyed.
Yep.
And I saw the same thing happening again here in Donbass, or in all of Ukraine with the Maidan. When I saw the mass murder that happened in Odessa at the trade union building, when scores of really good, innocent, nonviolent people were slaughtered, were burned to death, were beaten to death, were shot by the police. That really, then I knew, without question, that it was a terrible crime. And then when Lugansk City Hall was bombed, excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was, and when I saw this woman, Inna Kukaruva, a civilian woman, got her legs blown off, and she was alive for like one more minute. And somebody took her picture, and she was looking straight into the camera. And when I saw that picture, it was like she was looking straight at me, and she was saying, "What are you going to do about this?" And I said, "I'm going to go kill some of the guys that did this." And that's what I did.
You've been in combat. You're in active shooting. I guess whenever you're called to it, you have taken out some of the opposition forces.
Yeah,
correct?
well, and yes, I have, and I make no apology about it. And if some of them have been American mercenaries or Blackwater or U.S. instructors, that does not bother me at all. And I am a U.S. Army veteran, honorably discharged as well. But there's good and bad, and it doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're doing the work of Nazis, and I find you in my sights, I'm going to pull the trigger.
Amen to that. And I support that as well. Evil is evil. I don't care what color it is or what configuration. How much combat have you been involved with over there, Texas?
When I came here, I volunteered as a soldier, first as a rifleman and later as a RPG gunner. The first 6 months that I was here, from December till June, I was pretty much in combat every single day at the airport and at a small village called Spartak, that's just north and east of the airport.
Now go ahead. Go on.
And we were shot at and shot back pretty much every single day.
The airport war, and it was a war at the airport, went on for I guess months. What's the status of the Donbass, the Donetsk airport right now?
It is completely in the hands of the Novorussian military.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I was there when we took the new terminal back. I was there when we cut down the control tower. I was stationed at a position called Troishka. It was a convent about 400 meters from the control tower and about 500 meters from the new terminal, and we took them both back.
How would you rate the effectiveness of the enemy?
Well, about maybe 1/3 as effective as our forces are. We have highly motivated, not professional soldiers for the most part, but very highly motivated. These people, the vast majority of them are from this area. They are defending their own families, their own homes.
Yes.
And I can't say that they're completely fearless, because it's terrifying to be shot at with tanks and heavy artillery, but there is absolutely no question about anybody retreating or surrendering here. That's not going to happen. And the Ukrainian army, or as you say, the Kiev army, they know this well, and they're very frightened to come up against us, and especially the units that I'm associated with, which is the Essence of Time unit and Battalion Han Spetsnaz unit of the Novorussian Army. You
learned to speak Russian since you got there?
I'm still in the process. I've, at the front, there was not a lot of time, and there was not a lot of light in our positions. The windows are filled up with sandbags against shrapnel and bullets. I mean, you have to use a flashlight even during the day. So for the first 6 months, I had no chance. And since I've been doing information warfare since then, I work 14, 16-hour days. So I study as I can. I speak as much as I can with my friends, but I certainly still need to improve on it.
How many other Americans have you met over there that are doing the same thing you're doing? Are there many? Yeah,
there's not many, but I've met 4 of them so far. I mean, and some of them have gone back. If you're careful, if you come here to volunteer and you don't have any photographs of yourself, or post. For me, it was a one-way trip when I came here. But if you want to come here and go back, just don't get photographed. Don't tell anybody. And that's what some of them, a couple of them have gone back and have not been bothered by the American police.
The American police. There you go. What? You started as a rifleman. What were your weapons? What did you use? AK?
Yeah, Kalashnikov 74. It's basically similar to the M16. Highly effective rifle, to about 400 yards. I've also used different kinds of machine guns, automatic grenade launcher, the RPG-7, which is what you always see.
Yeah.
The big green rocket on the front.
Right.
I got pretty good with those too. The position I was at in Spartak, I was a RPG gunner there with a friend of mine, a volunteer from Belarusia, and the tanks didn't want to come around when we were there.
You took some out?
Tanks, no, because they stayed out of range, but the RPG is also highly effective against troop concentrations, and we used it to give some Nazis quite the spanking.
Well, this is really encouraging. Now, from my perspective and my vantage point, it looks like the orders have been given to pre-position the Kiev army. The heavy armor has, according to the reports I've seen, been brought back up to the line of demarcation, or whatever you call the line, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for orders, and as we talked the other day, they're waiting for the ground to freeze so they can roll ahead on hard ground. You pulled your armor back according to the temporary ceasefire. Is it still pulled back? I don't want you to give any information up that's going to harm in any way your efforts, but are both sides equal in terms of heavy armament facing each other, or are you guys still in a kind of a cat and mouse playing find us if you can?
Well, of course, we don't put all our cards on the table when we're playing poker against Nazis, but I can say this, that the amount of compliance with the Minsk agreement is 90% us and 10% the Kiev regime.
Good, well said. Yeah, I understand.
But at the same time, we are ready. They've been saying. I remember the 1st of March was supposed to be, the quote big U-crop offensive, and then they said no, it's coming on the 12th, and then they said no, it's coming on Ukrainian Independence Day, and then they said no, it's coming on September 1st, just like the Nazis did back in the Second World War. And now they're saying it again. And I mean, and you have to take these kind of estimates and threats very seriously, of course. I mean, there's a lot of very crazy, dangerous people with some very powerful weapons just a few miles from the city center of Donetsk, where I am right now. But they do know, those the Ukrainian army knows. Mm-hmm. And there is no question, if they make that big attack, the Ukrainian army will be destroyed in a matter of days. And I mean, completely destroyed.
All right. I don't, again, want to compromise anything in any way. Have you seen many Russian, we're going to call them volunteers. Have you seen many Russian volunteers that have come down, that have been there behind the scenes or in the scenes, working to help stabilize, give guidance, give training, cover you on intel and other kinds of electronic warfare things? Are you getting any help? I've read about this a little bit. Mm-hmm. Whatever you can say will help me understand better and those listening.
Well, the people of Russia support us very much here. It's, it's like if Texas decided that, and this is a good analogy here. It's as if Texas decided that Latin Americans that live in Texas could no longer speak Spanish, that they were going to be, that they could actually be killed or enslaved with impunity. Yeah. And then, of course, Mexican citizens would come across the Rio Grande to help against genocide. Sure. And that's the case that we have here. The Russian army is not operating in any way in Donbass. There are many volunteers here from, the Russian Federation, some of whom have, rather extensive military experience. Mm-hmm. But, if the Russian army was here, then, the war would already be over. we would already have liberated Kiev.
I think you're more than correct, and you're over there telling me what my instincts are telling me. This it's kind of like a paper tiger, the whole Kiev thing. Nobody wants to fight. A lot of desertions. Mm-hmm. When they imposed that draft, what was it, 16 to 65 or something? I don't know. And people were leaving the country. They were going north, getting the hell out of there, going west. They wanted nothing to do with it. They know the U.S. spent $5 billion installing the current government there, a disgusting group of people. And they're not dumb. They don't want to fight. I think that much of the Ukraine military, the Kiev military, would fold up and flee when they saw what was happening to their lead groups. So they'll throw the cannon fodder out first, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's and hopefully, it's very important to understand that the people of Donbass, of southeastern Ukraine, are not against Ukrainian people. We are against Nazis. And
correct.
Most of the people in Ukraine are not Nazis. There is a serious infestation of, basically rabid people. These Azov Battalion, Right Sector,
right,
Idar Battalion. These are insane people. These are, they're like, and actually, they are in league with the ISIS in Syria. They're actually the terrorists from ISIS that are being driven out of Syria.
Yeah,
are being shipped here. In fact,
I was going to ask you about that. So that's true. We can confirm that there are ISIS lunatics now in Ukraine. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Some of our frontline positions in near the city of Mariupol, which is down by the Azov Sea and by Odessa.
Yeah,
we've heard Arabic on the Ukrainian military radio frequencies. Yeah, we've also heard English on those frequencies as well, not just down there, but also up here near near Donetsk.
How close to your front lines at Mariupol let me ask you how close Odessa is to your positions, your people's positions.
Well, Odessa's a good ways, maybe 50, 75 kilometers from Mariupol, I believe.
That's not too far. It's not
no.
As far as you think,
and Mariupol is held right now by the Azov battalion, Nazi battalions, and our positions there are less than 5 kilometers from the city of Mariupol.
Wow. Okay. Hang on a second, Texas. We've got to take a break. We'll come right back and continue our conversation. Organize, if you will, in your mind what you'd like our audience to hear. I'm kind of going into this just on instinct, but you have some things that you might want to tell, and let's do that in just a couple of minutes. As we continue talking with Texas live from free Ukraine, the Donbass in the east. In a minute. Hey, let's get right back to our very special conversation. Live in Donbass is Texas, standing by an American volunteer, helping the people of eastern Ukraine maintain their freedom. How much, one question, how much freedom do the people there now feel they have? How secure are they?
They're very secure. I have to tell you, bro, that my old city, Austin, Texas, is about the same size as Donetsk, about 1 million people with some large metropolitan areas, suburbs around it.
Right. And
even in wartime, I feel safer here. The streets are cleaner. There's virtually no beggars or people digging through trash, anything like that. This is a higher quality of life in wartime in this city than it is in Austin, Texas. Wow. So of course, it's an example for the world. This is what happens when people stand up to corrupt governments. Things get better.
That's really remarkable to hear. Okay, what are some of the things you want the audience to hear?
Okay, well, the first thing that I can tell you is, that I'm not trying to disguise my identity or anything like that. My real name is Russell Bentley, and I was born in Austin, Texas, lived my whole life in the United States pretty much, except when I was stationed overseas in the U.S. Army. I'm very proud of what I'm doing here. I think it's an example to the world. It certainly inspired me. And what we're doing here is not only defending ourselves and the people of Donetsk against fascists, we are defending really the entire world against fascism, because if Donbass was to be defeated, the powers that control the Kiev regime would immediately start destabilizing Russia. And Russia really is the wall against worldwide domination by fascism. And this is real fascism here. This is not, they call them, nationalists or far right or something. No, these are genuine Heil Hitler Nazis. They idolize Stefan Bandera, who was one of the worst war criminals of the entire Second World War.
Oh, wow.
And, these guys, we're stopping them here, and it's very important.
You're describing Russell's psychopaths. These people are crazy.
Absolute psychopaths. For the first 6 months here, it was totally every day there would be just random shelling of civilian areas.
We saw a video of it over here a lot. Make you sick, just sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredibly. To just not, it's like, but it's, there are psychopaths in the world, and they apparently are attracted to forces like ISIS or the right sector or the fascist battalions of.
You make a very important point that I've been thinking about for some weeks now, that the sickness on this planet, and it is growing. There are more psychopaths all the time. That's why ISIS is having no problem coming up with volunteers. That's why the Azov battalion has no problem. They're crazy, sick people. And when you kill these people, you're really not harming the planet at all. You're cleansing it. They're sick.
Exactly. That's the way I feel about it. There's only one cure for a rabid dog.
No argument here at all. In a way, Russell, you are right on the front line of freedom and decency as opposed to fascism, genocide, criminality, and psychopathy. It's just that simple. Now, if there is an attack coming, and what would you rate? I don't know, and I wouldn't ask you when. What would you rate the chances of a major invasion of Donbass relatively soon?
Well, actually, me and the million or so citizens of Donetsk, basically we wake up every morning considering the chances that it'll be today at about 50-50.
Wow.
It can come at any time.
Wow. All right. Now, when it comes, you've had a long time, the freedom fighters in Donbass, to prepare. Are you running any shortages of any material? And again, don't give me any information unless you feel free to. Do you have enough weaponry? Do you have enough armaments to do the job that you see is coming?
Well, we certainly hope so. We can always use more, both support in the military and the civilian humanitarian aid fields. That's also part of my work here, is doing humanitarian aid.
Right.
I have a Facebook page, Russell B. Bentley on Facebook. I have a website, Russell Texas Bentley. I'm also on VContact, Twitter. All that. It's pretty easy to find me. Just go to Google and Google Russell Texas Bentley, and all kinds of stuff will come up. I've been very busy.
Great.
We do get support from around the world, including people in the United States that support our humanitarian missions. I have some videos I've made. I've been to 3 or 4 different orphanages throughout the Donbass area. We take food, clothing, school supplies. We help out civilian families. For instance, Anna Tuv from Gorlovka, her home was bombed back in May. Her husband, 11-year-old daughter were killed in the attack. It was a heavy artillery attack, just random, from the Ukrainian army. Her arm was blown off. We raised enough money. She's actually in Russia now getting consultations for a prosthetic arm.
Good.
A very brave woman, very good, completely innocent. There was no soldiers around her neighborhood. Her husband wasn't in the militia or anything like that.
No, that's called terrorism. That's what they're doing.
That is exactly what it is.
Yeah. If for some reason the enemy were to make a major inroad somewhere in the area in which you're serving, or somewhere between Donetsk and Lugansk, is the idea to try to force Putin to send in reinforcements, to send in the Russian military? Is the idea to open a second front? He's in, as you know, Russia is in Syria. You know what's going on very well there. Is that the plan, do you think? To try to force Russia to come in?
Well, I think, first of all, I have really no idea what Vladimir Putin, who I admire very much, what his plans are.
Right.
I think that, he is as good at political judo as he is at physical judo. And he's usually pretty couple of steps ahead of whoever his opponent is. And
so you have a lot of confidence in him and what decisions he may make if they would come into play.
I mean, yeah, of course they do. People here, and people all over the world admire Vladimir Putin because of just the way that he's helped to protect and improve the world over the last 15 years.
I call him Russell Man of the Decade for me. And,
for sure. Me too.
We're right there. Hold on. I've got to take a 2-3 minute break. We'll come right back, Russell. Just a second.
No problem.
All right. All right. Russell B. Bentley, drop by, say hello, thank him for standing up for righteousness and the truth. And that's what he's doing. He's putting his life on the line. Two quick questions.
Sure.
3. The AK-74 as opposed to the AK-47. The 74 is a newer weapon, is it not?
Yes, it is.
The difference?
It has a bullet similar to the M16. It's a 5.45 millimeter.
Oh,
it's smaller.
Close. Yeah.
The AK-47 has a 30 caliber 7.62 millimeter bullet. It hits a little bit harder, but the bullets are a lot heavier.
Okay. The second question, and I guess it wraps up the third. The people in Donbass, what do they think of the American people? Do they understand that our government has been co-opted, that we really are being run by a criminal cabal over here? Do they get that? Those who
yes,
care?
they certainly do. And people in Russia in general and here in Donbass, they have nothing against Americans. They have nothing against Ukrainians. Actually, the Donbass area is one of the most internationalist communities in the world. It was the city of Donetsk was basically started by an Englishman named John Hughes. He started coal mines here back in the 1800s. He sent out the word to people all over the world to come to Donetsk and work in the coal mines and have a decent life. He's actually highly respected here even to this day. And people came from all over the world. So, you can see in some of my interviews with local people, they say it's impossible for us to be nationalists because we are an international community and always have been. So
that's fascinating.
People here are not against Americans, but at the same time, when they ask me, I tell them that, yes, the American government is criminal, but there are also good people in America. But unfortunately, the truth is that there are a lot of people in America who, through fear and ignorance, and it's kind of a self-feeding cycle, they're afraid to know the truth, about stuff like, say, 9/11 or Libya or Yugoslavia. And so they ignore it, and by ignoring it, they become more ignorant.
Correct. They're also captive of media that is controlled by 5 or 6 corporations. It's
exactly.
all propaganda. It's all mind control. So those who really understand the truth here have made the extra effort to look past that and do their own research. And there are a lot of them. Americans are waking up. I'm not sure what they're going to do about the information they're acquiring now, but we're doing our best to inform, and I'm really honored to have you on the program here. And I want to thank Ernest over here for helping set this up. Just a superb man, and I have a feeling he'd be over there with you if he could. And I just want to go ahead and thank you, too. I mean, the alternative news media in the West is one of the most important actually information warfare weapons that we have. When there's a war between the good guys and the bad guys, the truth is one of the most powerful weapons there is. And I really admire like Rents Radio and the other alternative news sites that get the truth out that most Americans are unable to see unless they go to someplace besides the mass media. So what you guys are doing there is equally as important as what we're doing here. If you have a chance, Russell Bentley, please pass along my personal regards and respect to all of your mates and your comrades and all the people there. Tell them that we over here understand and care about them. I really have always been involved with this emotionally and mentally. It bothers me greatly that this country went in there and spent $5 billion with just horrible. It's actually been a lot more than that since Maidan. Yeah. Okay. And, Go
and
ahead.
And the people here really appreciate, people like you. And what you're doing is a great contribution. If the people listening want to contribute, again, we do humanitarian work here. We also do information warfare. I don't get paid here. I'm not a mercenary. I'm not like a Blackwater guy that gets $1,000 a day. People can go to my website, russelltexasbentley.com. That's Russell like Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Bentley like the car. Russell Texas Bentley. I have a PayPal account set up. There's different ways you can contribute material humanitarian aid or cash donations. That's really important to our work. And people should remember that we're not just defending the people of Donbass. We are defending the world against fascism. So there's a part for everyone to play, and we appreciate their support. And that's what, that's how I show the people here that, Americans really are good people, is because they do care.
You're an ambassador, Russell. You're an ambassador for the good people of our country, and I really admire that. So
I appreciate that, and I feel that way too, man. And it's the good people of our country that make me still proud that I was born in America. Of course, I don't think I can go back. I think it would be like a one-way trip to Gitmo for me at this point. But really, as much as I love America and the American people, this Donbass is my new home. I'm very, very happy here. It's a great, beautiful place, a highly cultured city. People should check into it. Come visit. There's a lot of people that come here from the West to do humanitarian aid or just in journalistic work or just to investigate the truth for themselves.
Yeah. Did the Russian relief convoys make a big difference when they came in?
A huge difference. And I have worked with those convoys before. A lot of humanitarian aid that comes from Russia. Yeah. And of course, it's the exact opposite of what you hear. It's not that they're bringing weapons or soldiers or ammunition. They're bringing food and clothing. Building supplies. There's whole neighborhoods in this city that have been, every house is destroyed, and we're trying to rebuild now. Churches, hospitals, schools have been bombed, and the people of Russia have pitched in a lot, and the people of America have too, and hopefully will continue to do so.
Well, I do too. Click on Russell's name and guests and go to his website. Make a contribution to let these people know that they are not forgotten and that we care about them, and we certainly do. All right, we just have 3 minutes left. What would you like to put on the table we haven't talked about yet?
Well, just that, people need to understand that the whole world is interconnected now. It's like the Lakota Indians say, Ho Mitaku Asin, we are all related.
Yeah.
What happens here will happen there. So let's make good things happen here. Let's not let the forces of fascism, the forces of evil, the people that want to, eliminate 3/4 of the human beings on this planet and enslave the rest. Let's not let them win. This is a fight for the future of humanity. So let's all do our part. And that's the most important thing to understand, is it's not a question of those people over there. It's all of us together.
Well, you said it beautifully. Let me ask one other question. Crimea. They blew the towers that brought the power to Crimea. One tower has been reestablished from what I've read, but they're not directing any electricity to Crimea. That's was like a jury-rigged operation that the Russians put in to bring power to part of Crimea. What happens to Crimea in this? How does it figure into the equation? Does Porky honestly think that he's going to go in there and retake? I think it was Ratsenyuk that said it. They're going to retake Crimea.
In their dreams, dude. And even in their dreams, they know it's never going to happen, dude. That is, because that is Russian Federation territory now. That's, if they were to attack Crimea, they would face the entire might of the Russian Federation military forces, and they would fare probably not even as well as the guys in ISIS are.
Well, okay. How difficult was the fighting you were in?
It was very, very, very difficult. It was, every day there were firefights with thousands of rounds. My first position, I started on New Year's Day. And on January 17th, about a dozen of us faced 7 BMPs, 3 tanks, and about 150 Ukrainian army and Pravi sector Nazis. We defeated them.
Really?
And we
Bravo.
also,
Wow.
but we also we lost 3 guys on that day. 3 friends of mine were killed, and it's of the Suit Remedy unit, the Essence of Time unit that I joined here, about 50 guys a year ago. 9 of them have been killed, and about as many have been seriously wounded. So it's a big war. I mean, it's not like just shooting guns at each other. It's tanks, heavy artillery, 152, 120. It's a very, very serious war.
It's kind of like World War II, is it not, in a way? I mean, these are heavy equipment, big caliber artillery. It's like World War II.
It is exactly like World War II. It's the good guys fighting the Nazis on the same ground that they fought them again, against 70 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's going to end up the same. It's going to end up the same. The Nazis will be defeated again.
Okay. I want to let you know that whenever you want to come on this program, if something happens there, let me know. Just write to me and we'll put you on. I'd like to keep this channel open so the American people and the world, we go worldwide, have a chance to hear directly the truth from what's going on there. So that's an open invitation. You are welcome always here on this program.
I appreciate that very much, Jeff, and I will certainly be in contact with you about that. I think, my job now is to do information warfare, and I think this is a huge opportunity to get the truth out to people all around the world. I mean, you have a great network going, and I will definitely be on your program again and be happy and honored to do so.
All right, you be safe, my friend. Take care.
Okay, thanks a lot. Udachi.
Thank you. Okay, good night.
Okay.
Russell Texas Bentley, another unsung hero, standing up for freedom for all of us. And when you hear that Daesh is sending its fighters in there, they're being run out of Syria, you know things are going to get tough. But there are tougher people there than Daesh. You just heard one of them. Okay, we'll be right back.